Hold on tight because we're about to dive into a storm of drama surrounding Remy Ma. And trust me, it's not a pretty sight. The headlines are buzzing, the whispers have turned into full-blown conversations, and the narrative unfolding is nothing short of messy. Remy Ma, once revered for her undeniable talent and solid relationship with Papoose, is now making news for all the wrong reasons. And let's be honest, this situation is downright embarrassing. Reports suggest that she's been cheating on Papoose, her longtime ever-faithful partner, for months. And not just with anyone, but with his own protege, Easy the block captain. Yeah, you heard that right. Now, in a shocking twist, Remy is trying to claw her way back into Papoose's life. But here's the catch. Papoose isn't playing that game. He's moved on, and his new love interest, the bold and unapologetically fierce Claressa Shields, isn't the type to be pushed aside. She's making it crystal clear that she's here to stay. This sudden turnaround from Remy raises a slew of questions. What's her motive? Why now, when Papoose has clearly found happiness elsewhere? Is it guilt creeping in? A realization of what she lost? Or is it simply the thought of Papoose thriving without her that stings the most? Whatever the reason, one thing is glaringly obvious. Remy is struggling to come to terms with losing a man who was nothing short of the gold standard in loyalty. And let's be real, Papoose wasn't just any man. He was the kind of partner most women dream of. The unwavering ride-or-die type who never folded, never strayed, and never let anything shake his devotion. To truly grasp the depth of this situation, we need to rewind and look at the history between Remy Ma and Papoose. These two weren't just another hip-hop couple. They were seen as the epitome of loyalty, the kind of love story that felt rare in the industry. Papoose wasn't just a supportive partner. He was the definition of steadfast dedication. Think about it. When Remy was sentenced to prison, many believed that their relationship wouldn't survive the separation. 7 years is a long time. Most would have cracked under the weight of distance and temptation. But not Papoose. He didn't entertain distractions, didn't seek out other women, and didn't let the world tell him to move on. Instead, he waited. Patiently. Faithfully. And if that's not enough proof of his loyalty, let's not forget that he went as far as to marry her over the phone while she was incarcerated. That level of devotion is unheard of. Papoose was all in, no matter the cost. And that's precisely why the rumors of Remy's betrayal hit so hard. Now the tables have turned. Papoose has moved forward and Remy is left grappling with the weight of her decisions. But here's the burning question. Can she ever repair the damage? Or is this bridge burned beyond recognition? Betrayal cuts deep, but when it comes from someone you trusted with your entire soul, it hits differently. And in the case of Papoose and Remy Ma, this betrayal wasn't just personal, it was public, shocking, and downright humiliating. Remy Ma didn't just have an affair, she had an affair with Easy the block captain, a man whom Papoose personally mentored, guided, and helped rise in the industry. That kind of disloyalty isn't just heartbreaking, it's an act of audacity that leaves scars. When the affair became public, the hip-hop community was rocked to its core. Fans who had admired Remy and Papoose as the definition of hip-hop love were left speechless. How could she betray a man who stood by her through everything? A man who, despite all odds, never wavered in his devotion. The disbelief was widespread, but no one felt it more than Papoose himself. Yet, instead of letting the scandal turn into an ugly social media spectacle, Papoose did what real men do. He walked away with grace. No Twitter rants, no petty back and forths, just silence and dignity. And in the midst of that storm, life led him to someone new, someone who matches his strength, resilience, and loyalty. Enter Claressa Shields. And let's be clear, this woman is no ordinary rebound. She's a powerhouse, a 5-time world boxing champion, strong, confident, accomplished, and absolutely not here for the drama. She stepped into Papoose's life like a storm, fierce, unshakable, and completely uninterested in any distractions from the past. She's made it crystal clear. She's not about to let Remy Ma waltz back in and disrupt the peace they've built. And that message? Oh, it's reached Remy loud and clear. Despite Papoose moving forward, Remy seems reluctant to accept that their chapter is closed. Her recent attempts to reconnect have only raised more questions. Is she truly remorseful? Or is she simply struggling to cope with the reality of her actions? Maybe she never expected Papoose to find someone who genuinely values and respects him. Maybe she thought he'd wait forever. But here's the hard truth. When you lose someone who was 100% loyal to you, there's no getting them back. Papoose gave Remy everything for years. His loyalty was unmatched. His love was unconditional. But loyalty doesn't mean much when it's met with betrayal. And now that he's found a woman who actually appreciates him, there's no reason for him to revisit a past built on dishonesty. This situation is a brutal reminder that love alone isn't enough to sustain a relationship. Trust, respect, and loyalty are just as vital. Without them, even the strongest connections can crumble beyond repair. And the truth is, Remy Ma is now living with the consequences of her choices. She let go of a man who stood by her through thick and thin. A man who proved time and time again that he was willing to go the distance. And now, no matter how much she may wish she could rewind the clock, some mistakes are irreversible, and here's where things get even messier. When Papoose moved on, he didn't just move on. He leveled up, in every way possible. Claressa isn't just another woman, she's a force of nature. Accomplished, wealthy, stunning, and absolutely not one to entertain foolishness. Papoose found himself a queen. And instead of accepting it, Remy completely unraveled. She started acting out, trying to tear them apart, desperately clinging to whatever power she thought she still had. She even went as far as leaking private screenshots, hoping to embarrass Claressa. But instead of making Claressa look bad, all she did was expose herself as bitter and messy. Then, just when you thought the drama had peaked, Remy took it to another level. In December, she posted a screenshot of Papoose asleep on the phone with Claressa while at her house. She tried to twist the narrative, making it seem as though Papoose was still sneaking around behind Claressa's back. Just when you thought the drama had reached its peak, Remy Ma decided to take things even further. In a desperate attempt to flip the narrative, she claimed that Claressa Shields got scared and hung up the phone the second she heard her voice. But let's be real. Claressa is not the type to back down from anything, let alone a messy situation like this. Claressa wasted no time clapping back, and when she did, she hit hard. She boldly questioned why a woman who supposedly had 2 boyfriends was so obsessed with a man who had clearly moved on. The shade was undeniable, and honestly, she had a point. If Remy was really as unbothered as she pretended to be, why was she so fixated on Papoose's every move? Just when the internet thought the dust was settling, Papoose himself entered the chat, and he did not come empty-handed. He posted receipts, cold, hard proof, that while he was home on Christmas, spending quality time with his daughter, Remy was out sneaking around with Easy. And he didn't stop there. He called her out directly, labeling her a narcissist and exposing her for fabricating stories just because she couldn't handle the fact that he had officially moved on. And then, the real bombshell dropped. Papoose revealed that Remy had actually begged him to lie about not knocking out Easy. That's right. She was so desperate to cover up her actions that she tried to manipulate him into rewriting the narrative. If that doesn't scream guilty, what does? At this point, the situation was spiraling into full-blown chaos, but instead of accepting reality and walking away with some dignity, Remy doubled down. Rather than owning up to her mistakes, she reportedly resorted to sending explicit videos and pictures to Papoose, trying to seduce him back into her life. If that wasn't already embarrassing enough, it only highlighted how much she underestimated him. She truly believed she could betray him, drag his name through the mud, and still have him waiting for her with open arms. But Papoose, he's not built like that. He showed her that loyalty is not something to be played with, and now she's left scrambling to pick up the pieces of what she lost. Meanwhile, Papoose and Claressa Shields are thriving. The two have been spotted together more frequently, exuding confidence and happiness, and rumors are swirling that Papoose might be gearing up to propose. If that happens, oh, you already know Remy is going to completely lose it. But honestly, who could blame him? Papoose deserves the happiness and security that Claressa is providing, the very things Remy took for granted. The way things are unfolding, it's clear that Papoose has found the peace he's always wanted, and Claressa is the woman making that possible. She's strong, supportive, and most importantly, She respects him in a way Remy never did. On the other hand, Remy's behavior has left her looking desperate, regretful, and lost. She had a solid, loyal man by her side, one that stood by her, through thick and thin, and she threw it all away for a fleeting moment of selfishness. Now, she's seeing firsthand that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And if she thought she could just snap her fingers and have Papoose come running back, she was sorely mistaken. But what do you all think? Is there even a slim chance that Papoose would ever take her back? Or has she crossed the point of no return? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this wild saga.